Well, Fallout Patch 1.5 is here, and it obviously fixes a lot of issues and doesn't add any more at all. Nope, definitely not. First up, we have the GITS Makoto Kusanagi outfit by Onenigma. Now, this is obviously inspired by Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex and Standalone Complex Second Gig. I saw Standalone Complex, but not Second Gig. But anyway, Ghost in the Shell is one of those animes that pretty much define the anime genre. When you think of anime, what comes to mind is Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Ninja Scroll. Like back when the 90s hit and Dragon Ball Z was starting to come over to America, and there's just tons of these killer animes that just were jaw-dropping at the level of detail and work. X comes to mind. Then you're going to enjoy this, especially if you're an otaku, or as Americans like to call them, the weeaboos. And there isn't much of a description for this mod, and frankly, there doesn't really need to be one. It is in beta form, and there's still more suits planning to be added to this. Now, the great thing about this mod is it's so detailed, it's so well done. It has become the base for a lot of great mods that have taken the jumpsuit to this and retextured it. There's even a new B&B Corpse mod that has come from this that looks amazing. And if you play Metal Gear Solid, then you know who the B&B Corpse are from Metal Gear Solid 4. Pictures are pretty much worth 1,000 words. Like, you may as well look at this and derive what you feel for yourself. Overall, the presentation, the texture work, everything here is phenomenal. It's at a pro level, in my opinion, to me. I mean, it really is. I mean, modders like this are what make Bethesda games still live, honestly. When you see this, the level of detail, the work, it's just like, oh man, this is great, especially if you are an anime fan. It just jumps at you. Hell, you don't even have to be an anime fan to appreciate the work here. It's stuff like this that keeps Fallout alive to me, personally. And I suggest you try it out if you're a Ghost in the Shell fan, or if you just like the skimpy, futuristic outfits. I know it's immersion breaking, but hey, who can say no to Makoto? Beatdown Interior Projects by Chuck Steele is basically a great mod. This is a continuation of something that was in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, and if you've been modding for a while, then you've already known about this sort of mod project. To give you a brief synopsis, if you will, of this mod without reading you everything verbatim, which isn't much at all, basically what this sets out to do is it takes areas in Fallout, and the mod author felt that there's nothing to scavenge in the Commonwealth. You go and there'd be these buildings that were boarded up for 200 years. Nobody squatted in them, nothing. It was just like you went downtown and you can go into like a building, or maybe two buildings. So what the mod author is setting out to do here is to create beaten down and lived in looking areas, or places that have been raided or ransacked. This takes, the vanilla buildings that currently are boarded up in your version of Fallout and opens a couple of them up and creates an atmosphere in there. And I think he does an amazing job of doing this. I know, very descriptive, right? It's immersive, very, very immersive. In fact, I probably should have saved this for an immersive video, so it's a mistake on my own part. But I couldn't skip it once I started playing with it because I truly appreciated what it represented. Now, a couple of buildings in the Commonwealth you walk into and you'll see it look like somebody lived there for a bit. You'll find, skeletons and props and dead bodies. But it's almost as if the mod author created a story, if you will. Like, one of the buildings I went into had a woman who drunk herself to death, or kept drinking until she blacked out and finally came to radiation sickness or poisoning. You have a man who had a hydroponics area where he was trying to grow food and plants, but I guess he couldn't do it in time, or the atmosphere was too corroded, it was too messed up, and he died in this effort. Like, you can draw any conclusion yourself when you walk in there, and it brings this eerie feeling to Fallout that it's so desperately needed in the bland, vanilla, boxed off, boarded up areas where it's just like boarded up. Oh, this is a mission building, I can go in here. This is definitely something worth checking out and adding to your Fallout without a shadow of a doubt. Have you ever thought about scavenging the Commonwealth, even though the super mutants, ghouls, or raiders may horrifically and violently rip your heart out? Have you ever wondered why hasn't anyone looted these buildings in the last 200 years? Well, 210 years to be exact, give or take the rotation of the Earth and a few dings to my chronometer. The Beatdown Interior Project is the sister mod to Fallout 3's DC Interiors project. and Fallout New Vegas' Envy Interiors project promises to bring many of the elements from these previous mods which you've come to know and love into Fallout 4. I also hope to add more depth, features. As my modding skills progress, this mod opens up many boarded buildings for you to explore. Up next is longtime classic, and if you have been modding Skyrim or New Vegas, then you may recognize this mod off the bat by the name alone, and it's the Commonwealth Cuts KS Hairdos. KS Hairdos were one of the top 2 hair mods to have for Skyrim, by the way, by a Morrowind and a nice oak tree. Now, this needs to be known right off the bat. Depending on the character variations, not all the hairs will fit 100% perfectly. This has to do with the variations of forehead size and character face sizes. It will be impossible to accommodate all at the same time. Now, this is something I noticed immediately with my character. I say if you are, going to use these hairdos, because a lot of them are perfect or great, what you will need to do is adjust your character's head size to fit the hair, depending on which hair you choose. So keep that in mind. If you're putting the hair on your character, you're like, hey, there's this huge forehead gap. What the fuck? The last thing you need is your character looking like a drag queen that doesn't know how to hide her hairline, child. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's cut to the chase. You're sick of wandering around the waste, looking like instead of being cryogenically frozen for the past 200 years. You spent the past 2 decades rolling around in a pit of greasy blood and Brahmin guts, and no matter what the skilled hands of John the Magnificently magical barber in Diamond City can do, nothing can tame your wild mane. Well, friends, no longer must you suffer. No longer should your character look like something even a mutant wouldn't go near. Me and my pal, a nice oak tree, have worked hard to bring you these wonderful hairstyles from Skyrim's original KS hairdos by Steelthick Chaos, Kalis, and Shaki. This set doesn't include all the hairdos from the original KS pack, but a good portion of them, 100 plus new hairdos, including mashup styles, the styles created by myself using KS pieces, as well as ported assets from The Witcher. Oh, nice. We plan to add more hairs as time goes by, but do realize it is quite a lengthy process. All updos, ponytails, and shoulder-length hairstyles have physics. There is also an option file for those who want physics for their long hairs. In our poll, some prefer the static option and some prefer the physics, so we offer both. Note, if there's any bugs or issues to report, please include in the description whether or not you're using the long hair physics version or the main version, and try to be descriptive as possible. Known issues. In specific lightings, some darkish polygons will appear on specific hairs. This is due to the backwards geometry, which was unfortunately present on every single hair when I imported them into 3ds Max. I fixed most of them but didn't have time to do all of them. It's not very noticeable and will be fixed in future updates. It was either fix them all and make you all wait another month or this, so be happy. In other words, if you notice it, move to some different lighting and bam, it's like it never happened. Bulkier outfits and larger breasts will clip with certain hairstyles. By the way, I wanted to throw in just a little extra something, a real quick honorable mention or note, if you will, a PSA maybe. Achievements by Expired 6978. This mod will give you back achievements while having a modded Fallout because, yeah, you're cheating just because you decided to add better textures to the shitty brick walls Bethesda threw in. Thanks, Bethesda. Thanks a lot. Basically, this requires F4SE, which is Fallout 4 script extender. You're going to require a version greater than 1.4.132. Uses Fallout 4 script extender to re-enable achievements while mods are active. It should work with feature updates as long as Fallout script extender is updated for your game version, assuming the signature doesn't break. By the way, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. Remember to support and love me so I can become a corporate shill just like Mr. Matty Plays. Whee! I want free stuff so I can kiss the ass of companies to get stuff. I said it!